Today's video is going to be a short little video on the issue that I'm having with the car cutting out. So maybe there's somebody that's watching can help me out. If you got any ideas, go ahead and drop them down in the comments. Alright, enjoy. Alright, so the issues I'm having a cutout in first and second gear around 5,000 RPMs, sometimes 6,000 RPMs, sometimes I guess when it's really warm, the car's warmed up, you know, after running, it'll sometimes do it in 5 and sometimes do it in 7 at the same time in the same gear. Let's see, so the issue only started when I put the RBC in, the throttle body, and the cold air intake, and I did relume and repin all my OEM harness. I did buy another harness, K-Tune. Didn't clear it up, so I know that whatever I did on my harness was not the issue. Let me go back and explain everything I have, or everything I've had before the issue. So I had the fuel setup. I had a 450 I have a 400 Deechworks fuel pump. I have 550 grams fuel injectors. I had the stock intake, stock throttle body. I had a regular ram air, or not ram air, but a regular intake. Let me think what else. I had the K-Pro. It was not tuned, and it didn't have this issue. So then we go back and I redid the harness. Now, this is when the issue started happening. I redid the harness. I put the RBC in. I put the 74 skunk tooth millimeter throttle body and the cold air intake on. And I put all that on and before the tune, and the issue started occurring. I was thinking fuel, but the fuel stuff was all in beforehand. So I'm leaning towards not being the fuel. So anyways, let me think. So yeah, so I'm having issues when I put the RBC throttle body and cold air intake on. It started doing it, and this was before the tune. So I went down and when I ran the setup before the tune, I ran at the track. I shouldn't have, but whatever. I ran a 14.3, did pretty good. Okay, so anyways, let's get back to the tune. I went down to the tuner. I had it dynoed. I mentioned it to him. He didn't see nothing. The fuel levels and the air fuel and the fuel graph and all that was straight, so he didn't see anything. So fast forward, after the tune, I thought the dyno and tune would probably clean it up or clear it up. It didn't. So we ran the other day at the track, and I ran a 14.6 and it's still backing out. So I'll go ahead and flip over to the motor and tell you guys what I have all replaced, and we'll go from there. Alright, so everything I've done so far as the past couple days, I took off the throttle body. Okay, first thing I started with was I took out the VTS. I took out the VTS, cleaned it, popped it back in, took it for a run, still did it. Okay, so I'm trying to eliminate stuff, so I went down. Next thing I did was there was something else I did before the throttle body. Let me think for a minute. Oh yeah, I did, fuse box all fucking loose. I did not have my ground from my tranny to my chassis, so I went ahead and hooked that up, ran it, still does it. Okay, took off the map, cleaned the map, I already cleaned the the IAT, already cleaned that a while back. I did take off this VTEC solenoid and replaced it with my other one on my other car, my other RSX that I had, because I didn't have that issue. So I took the other one, cleaned it, and put it on here. Still had the issue. Okay, let me go back a little bit. I actually bought the harness about 4 days ago, put that in first, and ran it, and still had the issue. Okay, so I was thinking, okay, well, maybe it's throttle body. Went back, stuck the OEM throttle body on, and still had the issue. So as of right now, those are all the things that I've done. I am actually going to take off the VTS again and replace it with the one that I had on my other RSX, because it did, like I said, the other RSX ran fucking smooth before I took the motor out. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that on, put that in, and take it for a run and see if it clears it up. Hopefully it does. I mean, you'll know once I put it in and take it for a run. I will definitely put on this video if it's running good. But if it ain't, then my next step is to put all new coil packs. I think it's in the spark, but I'm not too sure. When I go out, I'll run it and I'll show you guys on the tachometer of what it's doing, how it's cutting out, to give you guys an example. But so yeah, that's all. The other thing I did too, I mean, I did the battery relocation. I don't think that would affect anything. Never know. Voltage from the battery is reading fine. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this VTS in and see what happens. Let me think what else. So yeah, so that's the issue I'm having. First, second gear cutting out at about 55,000 RPMs. VTEC kicks on at 45, so it's, you know, about 55, mainly at 5,500 RPMs is where it's dropping. But it will drop at 6 sometimes, and it will drop at 7. Sometimes it'll do it twice in one gear, and sometimes it'll just do one in one gear. But mainly first and second. Third, have no issue with third. You know, I'll drop third on freeway pulls and nothing. Getting third on the track, wide open throttle, nothing. And like I said, it's only when it's wide open throttle, when my foot is all the way down on that gas pedal, does it do this. Normal driving, like if I drive it to work and back, if I'm not, you know, just normal driving, it's fine. Even if I, you know, get up a little bit on it, it's fine. But it's when you really mash that pedal is when it starts to do it. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this VTS in. I think it's VTS, I might be saying it wrong, but whatever, you know what I'm talking about. I'll go ahead and put that in, run it, and then I'll show you guys how the RPMs are, how it's kicking back, and then we'll go from there. Another thing I wanted to mention too was I did change out the spark plugs. I'm running the NGK, what they call the laser fucking whatever, iridiums, whatever. I am running those. I did, when the issue started occurring, I did go buy some new ones. I did put the new ones in, and when it ran out the track, it ran pretty good. It didn't cut out for, you know, first couple passes, but then after that it started cutting out. So that's why I'm leaning towards spark. And I pulled the spark plugs. All of them looked good except for one. The number 3 had a little bit more carbon buildup on number 3, but all the other ones were looking fine. So I want to throw that in there too. So that's why I'm also leaning toward coil packs too. Hopefully it clears it up. But I want to throw that in there to give more of a backstory of the issues. So right now the plugs that are in there, I mean, they barely have any miles on them. So yeah. So I was gonna put that VTS in, my other one, but the damn screen right here broke. So scratch that. Another thing I want to mention too is I did change the oil. It's got fresh oil. I did that probably about 3 weeks ago. New filter, new oil. Oil level's good, so I'll just throw that in there too. So yeah, if anybody's got any ideas, go ahead and comment below. Like I said, I'm gonna go ahead and buy some coil packs. Wouldn't hurt. At this point, I am just gonna start throwing money at shit, and hopefully it clears it up. Coils don't clear it up, the next thing I'll probably lean at is buying the new VTS, buy a new VTEC solenoid. Fuck, who knows what else. Start changing out sensors, top dead center sensor, cam sensor, knock sensor, crank sensor, you know, just start throwing money at it until it clears up. It does have a QD TPS. It is calibrated to the right TPS, so you do get a lot of answers of it being maybe the TPS. TPS is fine. Maybe even I might have to buy another map too. So yeah, so if anybody has any ideas, comment below. throw everything at me because I could use the help. Let's see if I can record this and drive at the same time. Alright, so let's see if it does. I mean, I know it's going to do it, but let's go ahead and do it. Right there, 6,000 RPMs is where it did it. Second gear. Right there. I guess so. It did it a little bit right there. Just a little hesitation at 6,000, about 6.5, but I wasn't wide open throttle. Alright. Now this is half throttle. Right there, 6,000. Another thing I'll remember too that I did, stuff keeps popping up that I remember that I did. I did go into the car and change out the fuel filter. It was good. It had very little bit of specs in it, but I went and cleaned it out, blew it out with air, put it back in. So that's another thing I checked and changed was the fuel filter. Yeah, help me. I need help. One more thing too. So my fuel pressure was running about 46 to 48. Like I said, it's been there. I had no issues before, so I just want to throw that in there too. Fuel pressure is running at like 46, 48, somewhere around there. The guys let me know if that's too high or if that's too low. You can definitely hear the fuel injectors from outside the car, ticking and spitting all that fuel out. But like I said, I didn't have no issue with none of the fuel stuff. It's only when I put the RBC, throttle body, and intake in and did the wire harness. But like I said, new wire harness and all the other shit I swapped out and tried. So I don't think it's the fuel. One more thing. Also, I am not throwing no check engine lights, so that don't help me when I'm not throwing any lights. I can't, pinpoint something. So no check engine lights. I was also, people said maybe the IAC, sorry if I'm saying these wrong, but under the throttle body, the IAC, whatever, maybe it's that. I don't think it's that because it's plugged in. I don't know if the tuner deleted it on K-Pro or if it's running, but it is plugged in, and if it was the IAC, you would get a check engine light, or you would have a rough low idle with the IAC being not hooked up right or something like that. So yeah, there's that. One more thing. So when before the issue for the wire harness, this connector was broken. I did replace the sensor, or the sensor was broken. I replaced the sensor, put a new sensor. Whoever had it before had it disconnected and it ran fine, but I put a new sensor on it and hooked it up, and there's no check engine light or nothing like that. But I just wanted to throw that in there, that I did replace this too. But that's just the temperature sensor. You have the one under the radiator and you have the one that goes to the block. So I don't think that would cause it. It might, I don't know, but like I said, ideas, I need ideas. But I'm just trying to give you guys everything that I've done, everything, all the information I possibly can give you to give you guys an idea, to maybe give me an idea. All right. Another thing is too, maybe it could even possibly be a fuse. I'm gonna go ahead and go through and check all the fuses. Let me get my book. It could even maybe be a relay that's maybe, faulty but not going out yet. I don't know. That's another thing I could probably start throwing money at, is some relays. A fuel relay maybe, or fuel pump relay or something like that. I don't know. Hooking up the relocation battery, I might have, ground it out and maybe, messed up a relay or fuse or something. So I'll definitely go into checking all that too, and maybe replace fuel relay. Maybe it's, it's not bad, completely bad, but maybe it's not good, and maybe it's just not getting a straight connection. So I'll look into that too. Maybe test the relay, test all the relays, or all the relays that I could think that could cause an issue, and maybe it could be something as simple as that, as a relay or a fuse. So I will jump into that and try all that stuff too. All right, but yeah, I should hook it up and data log it. to be honest, I'm pretty new at the K-Pro. I really don't know how to data log it, so that's why I don't know what I'm doing. If anybody can help me with that issue, DM me on my Instagram, K all day. It's usually in the videos, in the beginning of the video of my Instagram. But if anybody knows how to go about doing that, you know, DM me in Instagram. Another thing I'm having issue is maybe somebody can help me out with is my K-Pro. I want to get in and change the rev limiter. I don't know if I get in there and I change it and I upload, if I'm gonna mess up the tune that the guy put on, because I don't want to do that, you know, because when you go to change a rev limiter and all that, at first when I did it, it was all grayed out and I couldn't do nothing to it unless you hit new calibration and blah 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 and upload, and you can change it all. So I haven't done that, don't want to mess it up. So if anybody has any ideas on that, DM me on Instagram. I need to figure out how to set my rev limiter. That's kind of shitty running out the track when you don't have your rev limiter or launch control, whatever rev limiter. So anybody has anything on that, DM me on Instagram, help me out with that. All right, but with it cutting out, it is definitely affecting the time. As you can see, the 14.3 was my best time. 14.6 is what I ran my best time the other day. And if you look on here on the 60, let me see, 14.3 on the 60, I ran a 2.266. And if you look on here on the 60, it is a 2.230. So the 60 foot is definitely better the other day. But then when you get down in here into the 330, I got a 6.1 on the 330, and over here I got a 6.3, and then from there on to 660, I'm decreasing time. So the 330 puts me about right where I'm shifting from first, you know, where the cutout's happening from first going almost into second, is about right around the 330. So yeah, so you can tell it's definitely affecting the time from a 6.385 on the 330 to a 6.100. So, and in the mile per hour, so when I ran the right here, when I ran the 14.3, my mile per hour was 99.07. When I ran the 14.6, the mile per hour was 99.26. So the mile per hour is definitely there for a 14.3 and to a 14.2 to a 14.1. So the mile per hour is up there. But losing all that in the 330, 660, and so on is where I'm getting the slower ET time. But yeah, so it is affecting the times. I'll need to get it dialed out, you know. It is affecting my quest to the 13s, so just wanted to show you guys that, of how it's affecting the track. So I mean, the mile per hour is there for a faster time. So yeah, we'll see. So now I'm just gonna chill and do some more research, do some more looking up shit, and maybe see you guys' comments down below or DM me on Instagram. Yeah, so thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and KL Day, and I'll catch you on the next one.